The Icons of Real Estate Podcast. Are you ready to learn the proven money-making secrets from top-producing icon agents? Ready to skyrocket your business? This podcast is for you. Tune in every week with your host, Tomasz Fonseca, and find out how to implement proven strategies to 10 times your business, from $3 million to $30 million in just 12 months. Brought to you by the Masters in Real Estate Marketing, Arter SEO.
Well, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Icons of Real Estate podcast. Now, today I'm thrilled to welcome Zahide Wallace, a standout real estate expert known for making waves in the Orlando market and beyond. Now, she has a proven track record for matching clients to their dream home and maximizing returns for sellers. Now, Zahide blends local expertise with innovative strategies that drive results. Her presence highlights her commitment to exceptional services and a deep understanding of market trends. Now, beyond her success in transactions, she shares valuable market insights and empowers clients and her teams with knowledge. Now, we're about to dive into the secrets behind her success, her journey in real estate, and what fuels her passion for helping clients make one of life's biggest decisions. Well, welcome, Zahide. How are you doing?
Ethan, I love that. You're hired. Have you introduced me everywhere I go?
I'm on it. I can surely do so. No problem. Just get me a ticket for over the pond, then I'll be there. No worries. But yeah, we'll dive straight in and spare no details just into your real estate journey. Can you share a bit about your journey into real estate and what drew you to this particular career path?
Absolutely. So, born and raised in New York City, moved to Florida 24 years ago. And after my college education, honestly, corporate was my mindset. I was going to go and work for corporate, stay in corporate. I was already doing that. I was already a mother. And it just hit me one day that I would not be working for other people, that I wasn't built for corporate, that I was built to work for myself. And I find that a lot of other people, I do coaching and teaching as well, and I find a lot of other people find themselves in that same, situation where they realize that they don't want to work for someone else. And so started the journey, did not have a business background, had no idea what I was doing, was a single mom, and just took the plunge. And here I am 14 years later, I'm still here.
Wow, man, hats off to you and utmost respect. It takes a certain type of tenacity and courage to actually feel like, no, go away from this stability and diving into the entrepreneurial world where you have to know your Aikido, left there's tricks and traps every single left, right, and center, but the results, the end goal, actually fulfilling the dream and doing that, it's like no other, man. You don't have no one to tell you what you can do. You're your own boss, working when you want, how you want, and whenever you want. But just in regards to some advice of those wanting to step out of the 9 to 5 and hit up real estate, what would your say 1 or 2, 3 key points be? Would you say go for it, or what would you do? What would you say?
I would say create a business plan. That is the one thing that I would say, because the minute you wrap your mind around the idea that you are running a business and you say, okay, I heard Zahide say that I need to do a business plan. And your first question might be like, how do I do a business plan? And just that journey alone is going to lead you to discover and self-discover what it's going to take in order to make the success.
Most definitely. You have to, once you jump on the ship, you have to set the sails. Without planning where you're going to go, you won't end up at your destination. So guys, write down the business plans and plan, and then most definitely execute. You're in the Orlando area, right?
Correct.
In such a, say, competitive market, particularly there, how do you differentiate yourself from other realtors in that market?
That's a great question that I get from generally newbies in the business, where they're afraid or concerned that they're going to not be able to stand out, that there's going to be so much competition. And the truth of the matter, Ethan, is that it really is not hard to stand out. I think the best way to put it is I am the product. I attract a certain kind of people, a certain kind of market, a certain people are attracted to my personality for some reason, whether it be my expertise, all of that comes. But when it comes to the interviewing process, say if I'm working with a complete stranger
Hmm.
and you're competing for the same stranger, one of us is going to get it. And truth be told, in this market, I've got to say that we're friendly. I've
Yeah.
never had a moment where I'm fighting back. It's not like those shows on television where agents are fighting with each other and like it was mine and it was mine. And then we're gonna start.
Yeah.
No, it's not like that. To each his own. There's more than enough for anybody and everybody, and I've never had a situation where it's been cutthroat. And I
Hmm.
can say that I've worked very closely. I managed an office with almost 200 agents and worked in an office with just about the same.
Hmm.
So out of those 400 agents, I can't count on one hand how many I actually had to compete with for business.
No, most definitely. So it's a double-edged sword. Some realtors come into it either too scared of maybe um, facing that competition and shy away from the market, but the other ones are overconfident as well, and then you'd look down upon. But wow, what such valuable knowledge. Just in regards to going away and just thinking of types of properties there are in Orlando, what would make, say, a good investment property compared to just a family home? I see you dive in and dabble into both, and you have some good advice on your blogs and pages. How would you identify the difference between both?
So it depends on your goals. So say for example, and let me start here. It's a long game.
Hmm.
There is no fast cash, right? And people think, well, the flip. Well, that's that idea of, are you looking to be more conservative or are you willing to be risky?
Hmm.
Because if you want to go into risky territory, that's where flips are. And so, determining what your ROI is going to determine your team. What your knowledge is related to construction and just making sure that you're getting the best deals, the best prices, and you've
Most
got to make those
definitely.
decisions very, very quickly, right? And so you've got to be ready, willing, and able to lose if you decide to do a flip. You can't go in thinking,
Hmm.
okay, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna make 6,000, 10,000, $20,000 in a month.
Hmm.
That's not how that goes. There's time, there's energy, there's contractors, there's emotions, there's a lot of things that go into flipping. If you want to do a hold, right? So if you want to do a long-term investment, my husband and I, we do have long-term investments. We intend to get some more. And the
Okay.
strategy there is because we're business owners. And as a business owner, there is no retirement plan, right? We don't have the 401k. We chose not to have a 401k.
Hmm. Hmm.
Decided that investment properties were going to be our,
Most
final
definitely.
strategy. So, and then also the goal is, we have 5 children, and our goal is
Wow.
to go ahead
Amazing.
and give them something, provide them something. And so that's the goal is these properties are going to not just provide income for us, but in the future, continue to possibly provide income for them. And
Most
then,
definitely.
you've got the Airbnb, and there's some laws changing about that possibly, but I do have a lot of Airbnb investors. And my suggestion there is finding a property that is not just zoned for Airbnb, that you
Hmm.
could possibly do residential in it also in the event that the laws or the rules change, or in case you decide that maybe you want to live in it for a time, maybe you want to be what we call a snowbird. And so you're allowed to live in the property for a certain amount of time and then rent the property out. So you want to make sure you've got some flexibility there. And then the last opportunity is there's a company called Pad Split. But the idea is that you are purchasing a property and renting out the individual rooms. So that's something that's become increasingly popular in Central Florida as well.
Yeah, most definitely. It's all depending on what you want to try and achieve, guys. If you want to, is it a short-term hold? Do you want to flip it? Or is it your end goal to give to your lovely children, like yourself? But most definitely, a lot of realtors, they don't actually, they're surrounded by property, they're surrounded by, sorry, real estate, but they don't actually jump into it when they're in the most perfect position to do
Right.
so. Um, Honestly, I'm not sure why. Maybe they can reach out to you and you can give a helping hand.
Absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely.
in terms of first-time home buyers as well, the power of going to someone that's actually bought properties and invested herself and knows this different strategy, and has done it themselves will give you much better advice than these fake gurus just trying to sell you a house, guys. So
Yeah.
just asking Zade, what advice would you give to first-time home buyers navigating the real estate market?
I think it's the question of the chicken and the egg. Most of my first-time home buyers aren't sure, should I call a lender? Should I call the real estate agent? Should I just do all of my own research on my own? Well, I'm just browsing around. And at the end of the day, call a real estate agent. Call
Mhm,
me. Let me know that you're in the market to buy. And if it's a year from now, even 2 years from now, the best thing that you could possibly do is put us on alert so that we're aware of what
mhm,
your goals are. And so that when you arrive there, you are in ready position. I can't tell you how many people think they're in ready position and they find out, actually, you're maybe a few months away from where you want to
most
be,
definitely.
or you missed the market. The market that you were looking at is no longer the market that we're in, right?
Hmm.
And that's what I do. As a professional, my job is to watch the market. And right now in Central Florida, we flipped back to a buyer's market. So what does that mean? That means buyers, now is the time to talk to me. It doesn't matter whether it's a year from now, 2 years from now, but understand what this market is doing, because if you're looking at the future, I'm already there. I already understand what's going to happen next.
Boom. Most definitely. If we had a crystal ball and we could tell exactly what's going to happen in the near future, we'd all be billionaires. But we can initially make our crystal ball by those we interact with and speak to, like yourself. Now, in regards to like the market conditions and all the economics that's happening, the dynamics, including the election, what COVID happened, just in regards to the Orlando real estate market evolving, as you touched up on. You have this tenacity and this vision for the future. How do you see the Orlando real estate market evolving over the next few years, and maybe what trends should buyers and sellers watch for?
So here's my thought.
Mhm.
And just to give the caveat, I'm no economist. What I know for sure, again, in this business, I would say that every 5 to 7 years, it's a roller coaster, right? We go from
Mhm.
a seller's market to a buyer's market. Then we have this crazy anomaly called COVID that
Yeah.
created this insane market, and everybody was complaining and losing their minds. And oh my gosh, this is crazy. The houses are, the prices are going through the roof. What it actually was a correction of what happened previously when the market crashed.
Mhm.
So it's like the wildest thing to watch the market catch up to where it was supposed to be anyway. So we caught up to
Wow.
where we were supposed to be. However, what happened, Ethan, was that people's incomes did not catch up,
Catch up as well.
right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, everybody is sliding slowly on an income scale, but now the houses have run away as far as value is concerned. And so now we're seeing this re-overcorrection, and the prices are going to start to drop slowly. And don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about what happened in 2007, 8, 9. That's
Mhm.
not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that the market is now going to soften in order to meet the buyer demands, because the buyers are the ones who determine the market. And right now they're saying it's too expensive to buy. Sellers who
Mm.
bought at that 3 and 4% rate are saying, why
Am
would
I
I
gonna?
possibly sell my house and go pay more, a higher rate? I'm going to sit still, right? So
Mhm.
we've got this softening happening, and we've got these things coming together to create a perfect storm. There's going to be movement. Movement is happening. Real estate agents who literally been fleeing the market because they're like, I'm not doing as well as I used to.
Mhm.
On, hold on, because people need your help. And the ones that took, the deal, I'll call it the deal, as far as
To
far
ride
as
out the storm. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The unfortunate news is that foreclosures are on the rise. But again, I don't want to be scary. I'm not saying 2007, 2008, 2009. What I am saying is that people are looking down the barrel of a gun right now when it comes to
Mhm.
being able to pay on their homes. But the good news is that there's equity. So help is on the way, and we are the help.
Well, most definitely. Lots to think about in regards to it becoming a buyer's market. In regards to the foreclosures and and the changing dynamics now, I like to see there's always opportunity in foreclosures. The buyers can initially get a good deal and then develop and then probably refinance and pull the money back out. But there's those sitting at the other side again can barely pay their mortgage, but they don't want to refinance because if they do sell, what's going to happen if they try to get another house? They're going to be paying a much higher mortgage. So yeah, going to someone like you is what we need, guys. Okay,
Right,
what you should
right.
do.
And the crazy part about it, and it sounds insane, and this is kind of a PSA for real estate agents as well as their customers.
Mhm,
It's not about the sales, this is a people business. And my job is to help my customers make the right choices and explore all of the options.
mhm,
And if it's not time to sell, okay, then let's not sell. Maybe you need an attorney on this. Maybe it's not a real estate agent that you need.
mhm,
My job is to see the forest for the trees and push them in the direction that they need to go rather than try to talk them out of their house or talk them into another house. Maybe it's okay to rent for a little while. Maybe you're not sure what's happening with your job,
mhm.
and maybe that's why they don't want to speak to a real estate agent because they're like, well, I'm not ready to sell. No, my job as a consultant is to help you determine what the best course of action is. And if it's not a sale, it's okay.
Yeah, most definitely. And we're also like acting attorneys as well, because at the end of the day, we get to know our client on the holistic scale where if they leave out some details, well, they have to tell us everything because then we can't help you then. You gotta help me to help me help you. But most definitely coming across as a consultancy base is much more helpful instead of just trying to get the sale. But we spoke about the market evolving. Um, your journey, most definitely. What identifies good investment property compared to a family home? But just in regards to you and your goals, where do you go from here?
So believe it or not, I am on I guess I'm at, oh, this is gonna sound terrible. I'm not gonna say I'm at my peak, but I've been here for a while.
Boom.
And I'm looking at the what's next. And there's so many agents, same thing that have been in the industry for quite some time.
Hmm.
And my answer to that is diversification, right?
Hmm.
So as I mentioned before, I am in sales. I help with, sellers sell and buyers buy. I also am a coach. So I help real estate agents to help build their business plans, help them see what exactly are their roadblocks. What are the things that are preventing them from getting to where they need to go? Simultaneously, I have investment property as well. And there's several other things that I've got cooking. I'm trying to, I'm in this business planning mindset right now where every day
Okay.
I'm asking what. Like, what if I did this? And what if I did that? And you don't want to dilute what you're doing. You
Hmm.
absolutely want to make sure that you've got your eggs in the right baskets.
Hmm.
However, what I don't want is for this thing to get boring for me. I like to keep my mind moving. I like to do different things.
Well, most definitely. Well, I wish we had like another 20 more episodes. I'd love to speak to you all day, but we're coming to a closure now. I'd love to pick your mind just more on the Orlando market.
Anytime.
Um, we've got one last fun question for you now. In regards to the icons of real estate, we're the number one podcast network, and we are passionate about making podcasting accessible for all. But if you had your own podcast, Ide, what would you call it? It's a fun question.
Ooh, if I had my own podcast, um, probably, gosh, it would be so cliche, something with the word real in it, right? Real life real estate, or yeah, I guess what is I use the hashtag often on Instagram. Uh, gosh, real estate life.
Boom,
But
boom.
just
REL.
you're right. It would have to. It would. My foundation is about keeping it real and making sure that it's not the glitz and the glam and the fame
Being
that
real in real estate. Boom.
being real in real estate, and that's really what it's about.
Most definitely. Well, in regards to our audience, I know there's going to be many reaching out to you, but how can they initially reach out to you? And are you open to them reaching out to you?
Absolutely. The best place to reach me is on Instagram and follow me there. And my Instagram is my name, Zahide Wallace. Easy.
Guys, I'm getting out my phone now. I'm doing it myself. If you're not doing it, then the link's going to be here at the bottom. Okay, I'm going to drop you a follow right now. Zahide
I will follow
Wallace,
you
did you
back.
say? Yeah?
Yes.
Fantastic. Okay. So, not Z with the E. Ah, but fantastic. And I found you. There we go. Boom. Amazing content on there, guys. Plug in and reach out. But yeah, another episode of the Icons of Real Estate podcast coming to an end, and I'll see you on the next one. Zahide Wallace, you have been amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ethan. I appreciate you.
Bye, guys.